Hello, dear friends of Musica Maestra. This is a very special episode because I am in one of my favorite places to work at, the Royal Opera House in London, where I'm doing Romeo and Juliet by Kenneth Macmillan, the choreography of Macmillan, with music of Prokofiev, with the beautiful dancers of the Royal Ballet. And in this occasion, we will talk to the most amazing dancer, artist, tap dancer, father of three, a really wonderful Australian, Steven McRae. Join me in a chat with him and also through rehearsals as we prepare for our performance tonight of Romeo and Juliet.
It's very simple just to add that in. But then you can start to expand on that. That's very simple just to add that in, but it changes the quality straight away. It's endless what you can do with your feet. Teachers would say, learn the piano or go do the violin. And I would just always say, no, I have my feet.
Well, yeah, because you play with your feet.
And tap for me is me being the music.
Yes,
I am an additional instrument to the orchestra.
Yes.
And that, for me, is crucial with dance in general. It has to be a perfect marriage. Dance and music, boom, together.
So are those your funky tap socks, or what are they?
Yeah, I love Paul Smith. And they just, I don't know. It's about a feeling, isn't it?
Yes.
Bits of clothing or bits of music or a smell can create a feeling. And when I put his socks on, it just gives me a feeling. You get
inspired. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I always wanted to be a tap dancer. People would ask me, what would you have done if you would have done something else? I always said, as a child, tap dancing.
Yeah.
But I never did.
It's never too late.
Never too late. Maybe you can be my teacher. Yeah.
I don't come into the studio and actually practice tap.
No.
But I'm tapping every day.
Every day? At home or where?
I'm standing, waiting for the lift, and there's a rhythm going in my feet. I'm doing something. I get out of the lift, I'm tapping. I'm in the ballet studio in the middle of Romeo rehearsal. If I'm waiting to do something, I'm doing a rhythm. The whole time. There's always a rhythm going on in my head.
How old were you when you went to your first ballet lesson?
I was 7, and I can remember it, clear as day.
How was it?
I was such a shy little kid, tiny, scrawny little thing. And I would always hide behind my mum's leg. And I went into this lesson, and predominantly girls, there was another boy, and they'd all been there for a few years, so they knew the routine. It was a jazz class, so there was a warm-up and some exercises from the corner. And I can remember it. It just felt like I was this tiger that was unleashed. My teacher said, jump as high as you can, spin as fast as you can. You'll fall over, we'll all laugh, you'll get up, and we all try it again.
In the first lesson, they let you jump?
They just said, try and copy what everybody's doing. And it felt incredible. I was very fortunate that I won first place, so I got to choose. And the director of the Royal Ballet School at the time, the late Galen Stock, was the head of the panel of the jury. And she said, just tomorrow morning, you fly straight to London. Don't go all the way back to Australia. It's too expensive. We will make it work. And so I did. The next morning, I flew to London. My mum could only stay with me for one night. Went back to Australia, and I was suddenly in London. It was
22.
the very beginning of February 2003.
22 years old, something like that?
17. I
Oh,
just turned 17. I'd never lived away from home, never been to Europe. It wasn't planned that I would go to London then. It was a hope that I would one day go to London. So I had a little suitcase with a pair of ballet shoes, a pair of tap shoes, a costume, and that was it. I've never lived in Australia since.
One of the things I adore about working with you and just you as an artist is your connection to music. I can say you're probably the most musical dancer I've ever seen. When you're dancing, you are conducting with your body. You are one more instrument in the orchestra because you're right on the music. You're leading the music, you're reacting to it, but I never have to worry about being together because you're a musician. It's astonishing. I really love that. Wow, I love it.